We are now live.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? Thanks so much for tuning in on this Friday afternoon. We greatly appreciate you being here on the WatchTalkRadio.com podcast. For the Trust Radio Network, we have a very special guest today. It's going to be attorney Dan Schultz. We're going to talk about how we can start changing as regular Americans, right? It doesn't matter where you fall on the political party, right? We're talking about changing the Republican Party, and we want to say that, listen, if you're an American, if you love freedom of speech, you love the Bill of Rights, you love the idea of really having some real type change, well, this is why Dan's on the show today, talking about how we can start changing the Republican Party, and it starts from the ground up. Dan, I just want to say thanks so much for being on the show. We're about to jump in for a recording, but before we do that, remember, Open Tax Advocate sponsor the show, 312-664-6649, to visit chicagotaxteam.com. It's going to be your hub to fight the IRS's tax season, and tax season is getting crazy out there. We'll talk about more, or we'll be talking about that down the road, but Attorney Stephen Leahy, thanks for being the sponsor of the show.
I am just the conduit. Let's
just jump right in. Don't even do the podcasting. We're just going to jump right into the recording, okay?
I like that.
I understand, but it gets a little confusing for
guests.
Welcome to the Trust Radio Network. Join your host, Attorney Stephen A. Leahy, every Saturday night at 7, right here on AM 560, as he engages in conversation with some of the most trusted professionals in all of Chicagoland. Enjoy interviews with local professionals dedicated to providing the very best products and services. Learn who they are, what they do, and most importantly, why they do it. Take a step inside the minds of some of Chicagoland's most successful business leaders and learn all there is to know. Every Saturday night at 7 on the Trust Radio Network. Now, here's your host, Attorney Stephen A. Leahy.
Tonight on the Trust Radio Network, Attorney Stephen A. Leahy, PC, with Open Tax Advocates. What does PC stand for?
Professional Corporation.
I love it. I knew that. I was just
testing me.
Testing. We have Joliet Josh, the man behind the whole inner workings of this radio station. I am Jim Leahy, and this is the Trust Radio Network.
Well, thanks so much for the introduction to Jim, and I appreciate you. Now, remember, this show is sponsored by the Law Office of Stephen A. Leahy, PC, and Open Tax Advocates. Open Tax Advocates helps business professionals solve IRS problems. We help them with audits and levies, liens and garnishments, collections, unfiled tax returns, and payroll tax issues. We also help people with mortgage foreclosures, loan modifications, bankruptcy, and other debt-related issues. So if you have any of these problems, or if you know someone who does, you should give us a call at 312-664-6649. Again, that number is 312-664-6649. Or you can visit us on the web at chicagotaxteam.com. Now, this show, the Trust Radio Network, is where we introduce you to trusted professionals, people you can trust when you're making important decisions. And here's the most important decision, one of the most important decisions. Like, what are you going to do? How are we going to turn this around where we are in our society? You know, I've been hearing about the silent majority since Nixon and before. Right, and you know, the people are out there kind of, they're the majority, but they don't get involved. They don't always vote. They're not involved in anything. You know, you just hope that because things are going well, so nobody wants to get involved. One of the problems is the other side, I think, has started many years ago organizing, and they started from the ground up, and it took them, but I think we finally hit critical mass where they've taken over everything from all this local organizations, school boards, you know, the Democratic Party, the media, everything. They've taken over. So how are we as conservatives, how are we going to turn this around? And that's why we have, and again, now things start where you are, right? What can you do? Don't get overwhelmed. You know, you look at the national politics, you say, well, there's nothing I can do. So you put your head in the sand, you turn off the radio, you turn off the television, and you pretend everything's fine. Okay, we can't do that. right? So what can you do in your local neighborhood, close by you? What can you do? And that's why we wanted to have this show today. And I want to introduce our guest, and we're going to talk a lot about that in this show today. So our guest today is attorney Dan Schultz. Thanks so much for joining us, Dan. Uh-oh.
Do we have you there, Dan?
Thanks for having me.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Beautiful. Hey, so let's get a rundown of what you do. Again, you're an attorney. I want to kind of stick a profession with how you got into this, right, and how you have so much understanding. What do you do? What is your what do you really focus on for your practice?
I do insurance coverage litigation for policyholders, but I really don't want to talk about that today.
That's fine.
It's just being a lawyer. I'm a trial lawyer, so I've done some trials.
Mm-hmm. God bless you.
Prior to that, I was in the Army. I was an Army counterintelligence officer. I was a human intelligence case officer. I grew up in a little town in Wisconsin, Buffalo County, and everything that's in my book and everything that's at precinctstrategy.com, I learned in 7th grade civics class. I dedicated my little book to my teacher, Sam Alvord. And basically what he taught us was this. He didn't teach us just how government is structured, the line and block charts, and, the administrative functions of government. He taught us all of that, but the thing that was most important was he taught us how to organize and unite politically for real political action where you live if your country ever entered into a political crisis. And that's where we are right now. And he told us at the end of the class, okay, I've equipped you guys now. You're 7th graders. When you turn 18, you'll be able to join a political party if you want and become, in Wisconsin at that time, they were called not precinct committeemen, but we had wards, and they were called ward captains. And I had my dad and his brothers, my uncles. One was a mayor of a small town in Buffalo County. My dad was on the city council. So I kind of grew up around this stuff as well, and I knew how it all worked. And then I went off into the Army, went to law school, got to California. I worked on some campaigns as a volunteer, but I never got back into party politics because at that time when I was in California, everything was pretty Republican. We had Governor Wilson, Duke Majan, etc. And then I moved over here to Arizona, and I saw what the heck was happening with the border problems. And in 2007, I decided I got to get back into the real ball game of politics, like Sam Alvord taught us. And I went to my first meeting, and there was about 20 people there. Now, how did I find my meeting? I did it the old-fashioned way. I called the Maricopa County Republican Committee. I got their phone number from the state committee. I called, and I called, and I called, and I was a squeaky wheel that got the oil, and finally somebody called me back. They told me which meeting to go to. I went there. There were 20 people. And they asked all the new people to introduce themselves. I told them who I was. And then I asked, where is everybody? And they said, what do you mean? I said, there's only 20 people here. Well, that's about usually what we get. I said, well, how many people do you have? How many precinct committeemen are there for this legislative district committee? Oh, about 40. I said, well, how many slots are there? About 160. Whoa.
Wow.
So we were operating at 1/4 strength, and that was a problem. Then we went into the 2008 election, and what happened? McCain got blown out by Obama. And after that, I decided I've got to start recruiting people to become precinct committeemen conservatives, and that's how it all started for me. And that's what I did.
Let me interrupt you just for a second, Dan. And I want to tell you that I was a precinct committeeman here in Illinois some years ago, and I got involved very much like you. I wanted to get involved, and I went out and I went through the election, and I became a precinct committeeman, and I got involved and went into the committee hearings, and very much like you, there was nobody there really, and the people that were there were really all really just feathering their own bed, right? And I ran a couple of times. And I finally got fed up with it. I think I should have been more of a. I was a problem to them anyway. They didn't, right? As you were saying, they don't want anybody involved. Isn't that right? Don't you find that?
Yeah, it depends. If conservatives are running a committee, they're going to welcome you with open arms. If rhinos are running a committee, they're going to figure out every way to figure out how to, fend you off. You'll come there and you'll say, I want to be a precinct committeeman, but up in Wisconsin, they'll say, we don't have precinct committeemen. They have ward captains, but they won't tell you that. It's the same thing. They'll come up with all sorts of ruses like that. And so what you've got to do is you've got to learn the lingo first, and then go in and say, I want to do two things. I want to join this committee to accomplish two things. Register more Republican voters to, number two, increase the likelihood that the Republican candidates will win. I want to maximize Republican turnout to elect the greatest number of Republicans. How could they turn somebody like that away?
Yeah.
They'd only turn somebody like that away if they really didn't want you. Right?
I agree with you, and I got to give you credit. And this is why I wanted to have you on the show, because I'm going back and I'm going to become a precinct committeeman myself, and I've already worked on trying to maybe I get appointed before the election, because the election isn't coming for us. I think so. I can't, but I'm going to get appointed, and I'm trying to get back involved. Again, I don't know if they'll appoint me because of my.
But I think this is the most important part: is Dan's message to everybody out there, and especially on this stage. If you're listening to AM 560, we all know that you guys are that special breed out there. And this is what's so important, is listen to this, because we're about to go to commercial break, Dan, and we want to get your blog out there. We want to get how we can get or purchase your book. I know you have a book, or how we can really get in touch with you if I do have a question. So let's just do that right now.
Sure. It's real easy. My blog is precinctstrategy.com. I created it myself on WordPress a long time ago. It's being revamped. Maybe today it'll go live. It'll look a little bit better, but it's pretty rinky-dink. But what I did is I put on there something for every state in all 50 states of, something, a set of
I see it right here.
Something.
Yeah, Illinois, step-by-step instructions for could be.
So Illinois, that's some really good links.
So Dan, we're going to talk about precinctstrategy.com. Dan, we're going to be talking about that the next segment. So everybody listening right now, you are that special breed of listener. You need to listen to this. Get involved. This is a show to help you get involved. Remember, Open Tax Advocate sponsor the show, 312-664-6649, to visit chicagotaxteam.com. It's going to be your hub to fight the IRS. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to stay tuned to this show, because this is how we can get involved and really bring American values back. We'll be right back here on AM 560. The Answer. That's fantastic.
Again, Dan, you have inspired me, and a lot of people. I've been going around in my own neighborhood and trying to get others involved also. And Jim and I talk a lot about when we talk about together. That there is this conflict now, and we got a choice. Either we get involved at the local level and try to change things, or bad things are going to happen. I think they're already happening, obviously, but I'm talking about what's the other alternative, right? Conflict. I mean, what's the other alternative? You got to get involved.
And there's too much. It's just too crazy out in this world nowadays. America is known for its compromise. We are very good at that as Americans throughout our entire being. Minus the Civil War. Well, that was one, but that's historian Shelby Foote talking about that, saying Americans are known for compromise. I mean, you have the Civil War as a blip on that.
Well, that's what we're talking about now, is that because we haven't been involved enough. They've taken over all of the. That's why now they're going to pack the Supreme Court. They're going to put more. They're going to put more states on, so they get more. So it's really going to be. They're trying to make it a one party. And they have to do it quickly. I think because they're worried about the next election. That if they don't do it quickly, the Democrats won't. They might lose the next election, and we should do everything we can to make sure that they lose.
Let's talk about this in the next segment. Again, I want to kind of go through the steps of, and I'm just on your blog. What's the name of your blog one more time?
Precinctstrategy.com.
I have it linked for everybody watching our live stream right now. If you go into the comment section on Trust Radio Network, that's all you got to do is go to the page, the Trust Radio Network. I have linked your your website over to our video so that people can click and read through and see how they can get involved. I'd love to go through, and I'd love, again, how it's all placed out, and you've done this for every state, and God bless you, a true patriot that you are. I want to kind of go through and, go through the steps, like what is a Republican precinct committeeman or committee person, and then talk about talk about the steps to be getting involved.
Well, we're going to talk about the whole strategy, because I think the whole strategy
you're right.
Whole strategy, and I think the numbers speak for themselves, and that the 400,000 out there, and there's only 200,000 that's filled. But whatever Dan wants to talk about, let's talk about whatever he wants to talk about. So let's do the show.
And now, back to the Trust Radio Network on AM 560. The Answer. Real conversations with some of the most trusted professionals in Chicagoland. Once again, here's attorney Stephen A. Leahy.
Welcome back to the program. I am your host, like the guy just said. I'm attorney Stephen Leahy, and we're here with Joliet Josh. Jim Leahy is my co-host. We're talking about we're talking about getting involved, right? At the grassroots level. Do something in your own neighborhood, because if you look beyond your neighborhood, things get too complicated, right? But you can change your own neighborhood.
Jordan Peterson, right? Like
make your bed. I agree with that. That's very good.
Make your bed. Work on the small stuff before you can take a bite of the bigger stuff. And we have attorney Dan Schultz with us today, who's really going to give us a breakdown of how this works. Again, Dan, if you give us your website so that everybody listening here on AM 560 can go and take a look on how to get involved.
Yeah, the website is precinctstrategy.com, precinctstrategy.com. And then when you get there, there's all sorts of tutorial videos and articles that explain how to become a precinct committeeman, and the fact that there's 400,000 of these slots in the Republican Party and about 200,000 are vacant, and how that's a golden opportunity for conservatives to take over the Republican Party. Also, I have a short book that I wrote. It's got a real catchy title, How to Get into the Real Ball Game of Politics, Where You Live, to help President Donald J. Trump make America great again. And I'm going to cut to the chase there. The bottom line is, the way to do that is become one of these precinct committeemen. Get involved where you live. Don't just be a donor to the party, become an owner of the party. Precinct committeemen are the party.
Talk about
the precinct committeeman. There's no party.
Talk about the power of the precinct committeeman and together.
Okay.
When you talk about that, because I think that's it. That's
like, what is a precinct committeeman? Basically,
because the real power of the party belongs to the precinct committeeman.
It varies from state to state. In the Republican Party, everything has to comply with the rules of the Republican Party, which are at the RNC's website. You don't have to read those. But the way it works here in Arizona, by way of example, and it's pretty much this way in all of the other states as well, there's one precinct committeeman slot for every 125 registered Republicans in a voting precinct. And our voting precincts vary by population. So my precinct has 11 precinct committeeman slots for 11 times 125 Republican voters, roughly, okay? So each one of us is responsible for reaching out and contacting 125 voters. But we don't have to contact all of them, because 65, 70% of them always vote in the primary and the general election. So you kind of need to not bother those people. You don't have to bother those people. You only have to boost turnout, contact about 35 or 40 households each. And I've developed a strategy. There's a video about it at my site, where precinct committeemen boost Republican turnout. And it only takes about 3 hours in the primary, 3 hours in the general, using my system, and it works. I've gotten 88, 89% of Republicans to vote in the general election in my precinct. The average in Arizona was around 72 or 73%. So it works. But more importantly, precinct committeemen, and only precinct committeemen, elect the county chairs, the legislative district committee chairs, and they elect also state committeemen, who elect the state chairman. So for every 3 elected precinct committeemen, you get 1 state committeeman. So I've been a state committeeman. My kids have been state committeemen. And then we go to the organizational meeting every 2 years of the state, and we directly elect who the state chairman is. If a majority of the state committeemen are rhinos, we end up with a rhino on the RNC as our 2-year tenured state chairman on the RNC. If a majority are conservatives, we end up, or America Firsters, we end up with an America Firster on the RNC. Same thing with the delegates. We each have, we elect every 4 years delegates to the state nomination convention. Okay? I was one of those too. So were my kids. Why? Because we were elected precinct committeemen, and only precinct committeemen get to vote for who the delegates are. Any Republican can run for delegate, but only the precinct committeemen elect the delegate. So in my legislative district, we ran a slate of deplorables, and we all knew one another, we voted for one another, and a whole bunch of us got elected as state convention delegates. But the state convention delegates elect the national convention delegates. You want to maximize conservatives at that convention, you want to maximize the number of precinct committeemen electing those delegates. And then there's 2 other people that get elected at that state convention for a 4-year term on the RNC. That's the national committeeman and the national committee woman. So precinct committeemen elect the electors for the 3 members of the RNC from Arizona. That's real political power. If you want the RNC, the makeup of the RNC, to change, there is only one way to do it, and that's by becoming a precinct committeeman, becoming a voter inside the apparatus of the party.
I wanted to mention something. You mentioned your kids. I don't know how old your kids are now, but I have a son, and he's on the school board. So school boards are important too, especially what's going on now. So he was elected when he was 18 years old. So you're not too young to get involved.
No.
Right? And so you could go out and run. My son did it all, but I had nothing to do with him. He went out and he ran for school board. He won the election, got more votes in our than anybody else on the board because he worked hard and he got him. So your kids are involved. My kids are involved. You're not too young to get involved. Or too old.
Well, that's the thing. Everybody who's listening now in the Chicagoland area that hears our voice, it's hearing Dan Schultz's message. And Dan, one more time, can you give the website just so that everybody tuning in can access that?
Yeah, it's precinctstrategy.com, precinctstrategy.com, and then look at the site. And if you're doing it on your phone, I don't recommend that because it's going to look really small. But you can do it there, and you got to scroll all the way down and to hit view full site. It's better to do it on a computer, and then look at the how-to guides for the states. And I have several for Illinois, several that are really good that explains how it all works in Illinois. And of course, Cook County is a world unto itself.
Yes.
And I'm not an expert on Cook County. I don't know that anybody is.
Yeah, I think the only way you can be an expert is if you know somebody.
Unfortunately, what I found is in Cook County, most Republican precinct committeemen are Democrats.
Yeah,
it's just the fact.
Because
they take it over. That's just the way it is.
But again, everybody listening, Dan Schultz here has the answer. We need to start becoming involved in our local communities. No more of this, like, you guys take others. Don't leave it to others. If you're sitting there right now and you're going, man, I'm so upset with how the way the country's run, take action. Get involved with your political party, with your community, with your church groups. Get out there and start making your voice heard. Don't be the silent majority anymore. Get out and be involved.
I agree. And I want to talk a little bit, Dan, about the numbers because, I think that's so important when your strategy. Well, I know, but we're about half are, we got 200,000 of the 400,000, half may be conservatives, and if we take the other half, right, then you got 3/4 of
yeah, that. Real quickly here.
Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, I have a graphic that shows it right at the top of the main page at my blog, precinctstrategy.com, and it's essentially this. There's 74 million MAGA people. 0.3% of 74 million is about 200,000. We need 0.3% of the 74 million America Firsters to become precinct committee and take over our party. If we don't get control of our party, if it remains the same, all bets are off. We're going to lose the Republic. I guarantee it.
I agree.
I can't guarantee you if they all become PCs, we'll save the Republic, but I can guarantee you this. if we don't take over one of the two major parties, we, the America First people, if we don't do that, goodbye, Republic. Hello, hardcore socialism.
Absolutely, and we're right on the brink.
So we're right
out. Yeah, and I agree with you. Is that we might not be able to stop it, but I can tell you we're never going to stop it. Sitting on the sideline.
The most important thing about this is don't think that it's over. Don't just roll over. Fight back and do it through the means that Dan is talking about. Again, Dan, one more time. Let's get your website for everybody that's just tuning in at the end of this segment here.
We have about 20 seconds.
Thank you. It's precinctstrategy.com. Precinctstrategy.com. And go there. There's 10-minute videos that explains everything. This is 7th grader stuff, remember.
That's
7th grade civics. But they don't teach it in the schools anymore. And I tried to get that fixed here in Arizona. I used to work for the...
Well, we'll talk about that in a couple segments coming up here. We're going to a commercial break, but remember, Open Tax Advocate sponsor the show, 312-664-6649, to visit ChicagoTaxTeam.com. It's going to be your hub to fight the IRS. You have to listen to the show. Stay tuned and take back your party, and we're going to show you how.
Precinct by precinct.
That's right. We'll be right back here on AM 560. The Answer. That's fantastic. And again, ladies and gentlemen, don't ever sit there and think that this is over. Don't ever sit there and think, I just, even if you don't like what's going on and you're not
it's human nature after a big loss like this last one, especially I think that because the election was stolen, that you just kind of wash your hands and say, I'm done with this. But that's what they want you to do. They want you to be done with it. They don't want you to get involved. So get involved. That's what we're never going to change it sitting on the sidelines. But that's my own opinion.
I entirely agree. And Dan, God bless you for doing this work, for creating this blog, and for being vocal out there and going out on these great podcasts.
He's leading us. Because that's what leaders do, right? They give you a strategy, and that's what Dan's doing. He's got a strategy for it. Follow the strategy. It's already out there for you. Okay,
we're going to go into the frequently asked questions, just some of the and I guess, we could just kind of go over the process again, too. Really start plugging your website as well.
Okay, to get people involved. Okay.
All right.
Now, back to the Trust Radio Network on AM 560. Hear from Chicago's business leaders. Learn who they are, what they do, and why they do it. Once again, here's attorney Stephen A. Leahy.
Okay, I'm psyched. I hope you are too. Thanks for joining our show here. I'm here with Joliet Josh. Jim Leahy's my co-host, and we're talking about getting involved, okay, at the grassroots, doing what you have to do to change things. And so, I think I mentioned that I've been a precinct committeeman. I'm going to go out and become a precinct committeeman again. No matter what I have to do, I got to get involved. I let them push me out because I couldn't get anything done because I wanted to change things and they didn't. Right, those in charge. So I think we had a group of 10 precinct committeemen. It was me and one other guy that were conservatives. And when I got out, because the chairman of our township, he had his wife and his kids involved in the elected positions, and he wouldn't let anybody else run against them. And it really rubbed me the wrong way. I'm like, what am I doing here? And I walked away. I shouldn't have walked away. I should have fought him. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to fight him, okay? Because that's the way it should be. We should get out there and fight. So I've been inspired by a gentleman named Dan Schultz. He's out there with this precinctstrategy.com, and get out there and get about. So welcome back to the program, Dan. I want you to be able to explain to people the most common questions you get, or maybe how people can get involved themselves. And I'm going to turn it over to you to tell us what you think people need to know.
Well, what I tell people is this. Look, if you have 3 hours a month to spend on politics, just 3 hours a month, this is the best use of your time to become a precinct committeeman. And here are the reasons why. First, it's real easy to do. All you have to do to run for precinct committeeman is get 9 signatures from other Republicans or independents in your precinct, and that takes about 45 minutes. First time I did it, that's how long it took me. I always keep track of my time when I do this stuff. It took me 45 minutes. I took my kids along with me at the time. They were much younger, and it was a civics lesson. So, hey, look, Dad's getting involved in the political process. Nobody turned me down for a signature, and I knew it. They give you a sheet with the Republican households, and you hit those houses, and nobody turned me down. And a couple of people said, "What's a precinct committee run?" They'd never seen a precinct committee run before. So, and then you run in the primary here in this state. Some states do it by a caucus, but you show up and you run, and usually you're going to run unopposed, like I did. Every time I've run so far, the number of candidates has been either equal to or less than the number of slots in my precinct, and therefore it's always been equal because I filled it out once I became a PC. So we all win by default. There isn't even a ballot printed up, so it's easy to do. After the 2020 election here in Maricopa County and statewide, everybody was saying in 2020, most important election in our lifetime, most important election in our lifetime. But only 36% of the PC slots in Arizona got filled, both here in Maricopa County and across the state. But two of our counties, Cochise County and Graham County, they had 100% strength. And I asked those chairmen, how'd you do that? And they said, we got together and we decided to focus on recruiting MAGA people, Trump supporters, to join us in the party and bring it to 100% strength. That's what we need to do now. We need to get involved so that you're not just a donor, you're an owner of the party. You're a precinct committee.
I want to point this out to you because you were talking about MAGA people, and they usually were the people on the outside that criticized everything, right? They didn't like either party and the way they worked. But if you want to change things, you got to get involved. You can't, and I think this is why this is such a great strategy. Get involved, take over the party, make it what you want it to be. It doesn't have to be what what it is. You can make it what you want it to be if you get involved and you bring your friends with you who also think like you.
This is why it's so important to have a guy like Dan Schultz coming on here and giving us the way, just kind of empowering people. He's empowered you to get back and be involved.
Yes.
And many of you listeners out there of this great station, AM 560, The Answer, we all know how you all think. All right, but listen, you guys got to get
a minute and a half left. Let's give Dan the minute and a half to
push the website,
the final push to tell us what people need to do, Dan.
You got to find your local Republican Party committee by hook or by crook. Usually they have either a Facebook page or a website nowadays. Some counties don't even have Republican committees because they're either very red or very blue, but most do. Find it. In counties, in states like Massachusetts and Connecticut, they don't have county committees. They only have local, borough, and city committees. But most states have county committees, and then they might also have congressional district committees or assembly district committees. I think that's the way that is in Illinois. But I'm not an expert on Illinois, but I have information at my site for Illinois and for every state. So go to Precinct Project. You got precinctproject.com there. That's not it. It's precinctstrategy.com. Precinctstrategy.com. And then there's something for every state. Learn the lingo first. Go in there and do what I say on my blog. Show up and say, I want to help. Register Republicans and get out the vote for Republican candidates. Don't wear your Trumpism on your sleeve. Don't wear your MAGA hat. Go in because you don't know who you're running into. Go in and volunteer to help the party and say, I want to become a precinct committeeman to help, or whatever the lingo is, delegate in some states, it's precinct chair. But go in and say, I want to volunteer to make the Republican Party candidates win.
Thanks so much, Dan. We greatly appreciate you coming on, letting all of our listeners know you're a great patriot and keep up the good work. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, Open Tax Haven sponsor the show. We'll be right back after this commercial break here on AM 560. The Answer. Dan, thanks so much, man. The information that you just provided us and the pathway that you've carved is going to help a lot of people really understand that you have to be involved.
The strategies out there, follow
You
it.
have to be involved in your community.
Yes.
You have to be. I'm going to say it one more time. You have to be involved in your community, and Dan, you've paved the way. So thank you so much, brother.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. Thanks.
You have a good one, and keep up the fight.
You too.
Thank you, sir.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
All right.
And ladies and gentlemen, remember Open Taxi Advocate sponsored the show, 312-664-6649, and visit chicagotaxteam.com. We have just been we had a great guest today. Fantastic. If you're just tuning in right now into this live stream, you really got to watch this whole show. And it doesn't even matter. Listen, get involved in your community. That's the whole point of the show. Get involved. And we're talking about how you can take the Republican Party back, how you can change the Republican Party for what you want to change it to. Because here in Illinois, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. We know it. You know it. I know it. Bob Dole knows it.
I was just going to say that.
It's a joke. But anyway, get involved. For God's sakes.
For the love of Pete. You like that?
Well, yeah.
I don't
So
know.
again, Dan, thanks for being on the show.
I don't know who Pete is.
I don't know who Pete is anyway either. But we're going to be going into the middle segment here, Josh. Joliet Josh behind the mic over there, just absolutely killing it. We're going to be talking about the listener question and kind of talk about the IRS not filing in 2019.
That's what you want me to talk about?
I want to talk about
the
both.
IRS radio.
What do you want? Do you want to talk about something?
Well, we've been talking about foreclosures, and I keep getting them.
Okay, so we could do that. We could do that.
And there's still there's a moratorium out there, and they're talking about extending the moratorium. So it might give you some time to work something out with your mortgage company, but have a plan. And so I think that's what we should probably talk about.
You're listening to the Trust Radio Network on AM 560. The Answer. Step inside the minds of some of Chicago's most successful business leaders. Here's your host, attorney Stephen A. Leahy.
Welcome to the program. We are taking a break here from our interview with Dan Schultz of the PrecinctStrategy.com.
Say that 5 times fast.
And I got to tell you, we're in. He's given us some great information. Stay tuned after this segment. We're going to have him back and talk a little bit more about and wrap it up what you can do to change your neighborhood, your state, your country. That's what we need to do. We need to get involved at the grassroots level and change things, okay? So what I wanted to talk about in this segment, though, is I wanted to talk a little bit about foreclosures again, because they're rampant. I don't know if you've seen this, but I haven't. But more than half of all. The numbers are bigger than they were in 2018 is what I want to say, right? So there's more people now in foreclosure than there was in the meltdown in 2008. I shouldn't say foreclosure. I should say that are behind in their mortgage. Yeah. There's more people behind because they haven't gone to the foreclosure process yet. But so many people have gotten involved in this forbearance agreement that there's so more people now that are behind. Yes.
Isn't Joe Biden supposed to be coming out, the Biden administration at least, coming out and saying that, hey, we're not going to really start going after, we're going to try to tell companies to not go after foreclosures until 2023, 2024. And they might even have 40-year mortgage options from what I read.
I have a client now who has a 50-year mortgage.
That sounds great.
And the reason why they do that is they try to go down that's the only way they can get down to a level that people can afford to make the payments.
Yes. Yeah.
And in the end, it's not the problem with that is you're never really going to own your home when it's a 50-year mortgage, and that was the same. It was the same thing back in 2008 when people got into these loan modifications and they to stay in their home, and then they learned, if I look at, I have this. A lot of times when you're behind in your mortgage and they do a loan modification, what they'll do is they'll they'll take what you're behind and they'll put it into what they call a non-interest bearing account. And so there's a big chunk of money out there, and they don't use it to come up with your monthly mortgage payment. So after 30 years or 40 years or now 50 years, you still got a big chunk of money that you owe. So you got to make payments for 50 years to get rid of the other mortgage, and then you have this big chunk that's still sitting there. So it really makes it hard to ever sell your home and get any equity out of it, or ever get any equity in the home at all. What I'm finding, and this is where we are now, is that a lot of people who fell behind in 2008, 2009, and then they got a mortgage loan modification with their first mortgage, the second mortgage kind of went away. And they went away because there was no equity in the house. And so a lot of people filed bankruptcy and they walked away and they said, I don't owe that second mortgage anymore. And then now you've been paying down for another 10 years or 12 years, and now your principal balance is going down in your first mortgage, and the value of the property is going up. So now there is equity in that house, and now the second mortgage comes out of the woodwork, and now they're coming after you to take your house away from you that you've been paying for all these years. And that's why I always tell people these loan modifications often come to the point where you're never really going to own your home, but it still is better than moving. Okay, so.
Yeah, and again, ladies and gentlemen, if you have this problem, remember Open Tax Advocates is there for you, 312-664-6649.
Okay, so anyway, this is where I want people to understand. If you're having a problem, if you're in a forbearance, have a plan, because you're going to wait to the end and they're going to tell you, hey, it's over. A lot of people believe that the mortgage companies are trying to do this to help you. They're doing it because the government told them to do it. Okay, and they're getting money from the government to do it. As soon as that's gone, then they're not going to do it for you, right? They're not going to be nice to you and let you stay in your home and not pay your mortgage. That's what they're doing now because they have to. Not because they wanted to. Same thing in 2008. After a couple of years, the government came up and said, do loan modifications or we're not going to give you the money. And so they started doing loan modifications. There was a lot of attorney generals throughout the country who got together and got judgments against these servicing companies and made them do loan modifications. But as soon as they were over, loan modifications went away. Right, so that's what's going to happen. So you're in a forbearance. That's great. Have a plan for when the forbearance ends, and one day it will end. Okay, that's what's going to happen. It's the same thing if you're renting and you haven't paid your rent. Right, they can't evict you yet. By law, they can't evict you. But one day that's going to stop. Right. One day they're going to be permitted to go to court and remove you from that house, and then probably sue you for whatever's behind. Right. And then your only option is going to be to file bankruptcy. Otherwise, they're going to garnish your wages for the rest of your life. So take action. Understand what this all means. And if you have a question, you should call me, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. 312-664-6649.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, Open Tax Advocates is the sponsor of this show and will be your ally in helping fight the IRS when they start.
I'm just kidding you, Joe. Go ahead.
Oh, when they start coming after you. I thought we were on a good roll here.
We were.
Listen, our interview with Attorney Dan Schultz talking about precinct committeement and how you take back the Republican Party will continue after this commercial break, so you got to stay tuned. But remember, Open Tax Advocates brought us. That's for you. It's great. This great programming here today. We're going right to commercial break, so stay tuned here on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't ever hesitate to get a drink, dude. I can always take out your cause.
Well, I don't like that. I don't like that.
I know you got a flow going, but it sounds like you're struggling if you can't. So get your drink of water, and I'll knock out that blank.
It sounds to you like I'm struggling. To me, it just sounds like I'm just having fun.
You're on a roll.
I know he rolls, but listen, let me get your water so I can get you some more, okay?
Thank you, sir.
You're going to be doing a lot of talking today.
I had to run to the bathroom and grab my food.
I always do a lot of talking. What is send with effect? What does that mean? The hell is this? bow.
All right,
bow,
everybody.
bow.
Again, thanks so much for tuning in. If you have a question, if you have a comment,
Why are we going
please.
down? We're on, Jim. We're on. We're always on.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, Open Taxi have a good sponsor of the show.
Good for you.
Good, a great interview with Dan Schultz today, talking about how you can be.
I was thinking about we should have him stayed, but you told him that because he gives you he really goes on a roll. He's really got.
I know
a lot to say.
he's fantastic.
He's got a lot to say.
And again, it's at your fingertips. So get involved.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because all I see from anybody is, especially with everything going on in the current political, everybody just complains. Everybody goes online, complains, and nothing ever changes. Well, go change it. Go be involved. Go out there and put your money where your mouth is instead of at the complaints. The comment section on these websites. Get off the comment section.
I gave up on Facebook, and I don't go to Facebook anymore.
Except to broadcast this great show.
Except for this show. That's right. That's how I do that. I wonder how Frank is going to turn out, Jim.
What is that?
That's
a terrible name for
because
social media.
Actually, it's not, because when you speak the truth, you're being frank. I don't know if you know that. Have you ever heard that before?
Yes.
You've heard that before.
Let me be frank.
Yeah. So it kind of makes sense.
Yo, did you see what happened on Frank yesterday?
What do you say, Facebook? The Facebook? Okay, Jim. Let's see what Steve has. Stephen A. Leahy. We're going to do the fifth segment, the fifth and final
We're
segment.
just going to be wrapping up again.
He's got carnitas.
What?
Carnita.
Where's that?
Right there. He's got it. I see it. Carnita.
I want Chipotle.
Did I say that correctly? Is that Chipotle?
Yeah, I'd eat a burrito like crazy
Is
right
that-
now.
is
That is Chipotle, yes.
Okay. Did they?
Yes, they have vegetarian options.
Their
for it.
pork is raised responsibly and breaded deliciously. Does it say, braised? Is it braised? I can't see. I that's why I have glasses. But if I put my glasses, I can't see far away.
How about that Dogecoin?
How about it?
Bought it as a joke.
And now I'm laughing. Anyway, Jim, that's what life is all about.
That's what Elon Musk was saying. How ironic would it be that a coin that started as a joke
Makes money.
starts to make a ton of money and then becomes the coin?
I think the Chinese government has something to do with Bitcoin. That they've got. Their strategy is to get rid of the American dollar as the base currency.
It's been around for a long time.
What has?
Bitcoin.
I understand, but it takes time, right?
get it.
And somebody's got when governments start put carnita. Anyway,
Is that a bowl or is that a burrito?
No, I don't do the. I'm too sloppy in here, especially. So
my problem with burritos, and everything else. So there was this place I went with. They had the
Oh my God.
they had the 16-inch or 18-inch burrito.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. The problem with me is I can't put it down till I'm finished. Right? Because
picking it back up is a.
so I got to eat this 18-inch burrito.
See, I like to get mine suizo with the cheese on the top. There's no eating that with your hands, man. You got to fork and knife that bad.
Oh, I wanted to mention
That is where
to the
I'm
gang.
starving. I'm so glad
I
that.
wanted to mention this to the gang that I went to Rico Benny's last Saturday. I took my son. You ever been to Rico Benny's?
No, but I've heard.
Okay, so I took
I'm a
my
homebody.
I took my son, as I am, but you look for something to spend some time with your kids, and there's certain places in Chicago you have to go and eat, like Manny's. Okay, you have to go to Manny's and have a corned beef sandwich eventually, right? You got to. And the same thing with Rico Benny's. You got to go to Rico Benny's and have a breaded steak sandwich. And I had taken my son Jake there before, a couple of years ago, and so Joe and I were talking. Well, where should we go eat? We were going back and forth. I said, we got to go to Rico Benny's. Get in the car. So we went I went down the south side of Chicago and drove right past Manny's. Also, another place I drove by is Tofano's, Vernon Street Tap. Loved that place. Loved Manny's and loved Rico Benny's. It was a great sandwich. I'm telling you, it's the biggest sandwich ever. That's why I was the 18-inch burrito I was thinking of. That's an 18-inch sandwich if you get the big one, and it's awesome.
Let's just jump right in. But again, ladies and gentlemen,
When I worked at McCormick Place, they used to have it on the food truck. they'd come in and we buy the Rickle Benny sandwich. So I learned to love it. love it.
I'm starving.
I know. Want to go to Rickle Benny's? Oh, it's Friday. I can't eat meat. Okay. And I'm not eating eggplant.
Yeah, no, I got that in lasagna real quick. Got that in lasagna one time when I was a kid, not knowing what the heck was going on.
It's a mistake.
I've ever been mad at my mom. Then again, so what is this?
I just went out to dinner with my wife.
Excuse me?
We went to an Italian joint. I'm not going to mention because I'm protesting them. I'm going to get into that. But anyway, my wife had eggplant lasagna that you just mentioned. It's like, why would I get that? You know,
it's so disappointing.
Why would you get that? Oh yeah, she loved it though, so good for her. I've never been an eggplant.
Eggplant Parmesan's pretty good.
It's okay. I've had good ones.
I'm not an eggplant guy.
I've had good eggplant, but never great. It's not. Then I always wonder, why isn't there any meat in this? Well, it's eggplant. Well, can't they put meat in there too?
That doesn't answer my question at all.
Yeah, my question is, why did I get the eggplant?
That is a good question. And here's the answer. I never do. Never get the eggplant.
Tell you. Okay, well, anyway, let's just get right into the show. And
this is the 5th segment now,
yes,
right?
I understand.
Okay.
This is the 5th segment of a wrap-up. You go off on your
tangent. Wrap-up.
Go off on a tangent.
Why would I go off on a tangent?
Because
that's what I do.
Back to the Trust Radio Network on AM 560. The Answer. Real conversations with some of the most trusted professionals in Chicagoland. Once again, here's attorney Stephen A. Leahy.
Hey, welcome back to the show. I'm your host, like the guy just said. I'm attorney Stephen A. Leahy. We're here with Josh, Joliet Josh, and Jim Leahy is my co-host. I wanted to thank you so much for joining us today. I hope I learned something. Now I gotta say, I've heard Dan Schultz before. I've heard him on other venues, and that's why I wanted to have him on the show, because I learned so much from him, and it's inspiring because he's got a strategy. It's already spelled out. Right? Follow the strategy. And it makes perfect sense. You could sit back and complain and wring your hands about how bad things are, or you can get up off your duff and do something about it.
I like how you use the word duff.
You don't get to use that word very often.
No. But again, ladies and gentlemen, it's just about getting out there and being active in your community, and I think we can make that we should make that more of a focal point, is being active. Don't let other people just start running the show. If you don't like what's going on around your community, if you don't like what's going around at your local school board, if you don't like what's going around, run. Do what you have to do to get involved. Don't walk, run. Yeah, run. Join the parental group. I mean, you want to coach a football league, or if you want to go coach young baseball, go be a part of your community.
School board. We just had school board elections, and I was surprised at how many people, they didn't really go. They didn't really vote that hard. But change. You got to get involved. I got to tell you, school board elections, 100 people will change. You can get elected with 100 people, in many districts. So it doesn't, because a lot of people don't vote in that election, right? So get involved. That's where they're taking over. Anyway. I'm going to talk about they. I don't want to talk about they. I want to talk about us. Right, and what we can do, and not what they did, but what we can do. Don't sit back. Again, I've always heard from ever since Richard Nixon. That's right, Tricky Dick. I remember they were always talking about the silent majority. The silent majority is coming out. Well, sometimes the silent majority came out, and sometimes they didn't. Right, and that's why. And in the meantime, the other side was out organizing. We're not sitting back and waiting for the right everything.
And they're doing it now, right in your face, on every street corner.
Yes.
They're doing it right now. So, and instead of sitting on your duff.
I like
and going on your going on the. I mean, I see this all the time on comment sections for these websites. Everybody leaves these. You got 1 million comments, everybody complaining, and nothing changes because you don't do anything. You just go and you just this is stupid, and you walk away. Listen, we need to come together. This is the time to come together. You don't pull away in times of hardship.
PrecinctStrategy.com. Let me tell you something about 560 AM. The Answer,
and their listeners.
Anytime they have a function, go.
That's right.
Because you will meet great people that are that think just like you, then you can get together and you can make a change.
That is a great point.
And I've met some of the nicest people, some very great friends now that are my very good friends that I met several years ago at some of these events. And now you go to these events and there's a lot of the same people. It's great. And you could be right. You should meet your people in your neighborhood and people around Chicago who think like you think, and you can get together and make a change in things. And that's what it's going to take: people to get to get invested in their neighborhood. Now, again, when I say go to the 560, not only will you meet great people and get inspired to change, you'll have fun.
That's the most important part.
You'll have fun, and that's what it is. It's a lot of fun. So get involved. Hope to see you at the next AM 560 The Answer event.
That's right.
I go to most.
And all you listeners out there, when you listen to this show, or if you're just tuning in now, go to our Spotify. You can listen to this episode coming up this week. We upload on Spotify weekly. You go to our Facebook page, the Trust Radio Network, and watch this interview with Dan Schultz talking about how you can take back the Republican Party. PrecinctStrategies.com. Remember, Open Taxi Advocates sponsor the show at 312-664-6649 or visit ChicagoTaxTeam.com. Again, we thank you so much for tuning in. We give a shout out to all you listeners.
And Shalom Klein, who's next?
He's not next. It's Saturday night here on AM 560.
That's right.
The Answer.
That other show.
Thank you for tuning in to the Trust Radio Network on AM 560, The Answer. Be sure to join attorney Stephen A. Leahy again next Saturday night at 7 as he engages in conversations with some of the most trusted professionals in all of Chicagoland. Enjoy interviews with local professionals dedicated to providing the very best products and services. Learn who they are, what they do, and most importantly, why they do it. Take a step inside the minds of some of Chicagoland's most successful business leaders and learn all there is to know on the Trust Radio Network with your host, attorney Stephen A. Leahy. See you right back here next Saturday night at 7 on AM 560. The Answer.
Well, my mistake. It's this is the Trust. That was the Trust Radio Network.
Son of a
and so
bitch.
Shalom Klein is on Sunday. I think after our show on Saturday,
Another shooting in Portland.
It's that 360 at one of the riots or peaceful protests.
I don't know.
Anyway, let's not talk about that.
Yeah, let's go to the IRS radio.
So, what was I just saying before I was so rudely interrupted?
Well, what do you want me to say? Let me hold on to this.
Maybe you should be paying attention.
I am paying attention. You're the one not paying attention. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We're going over to the IRS Radio Hour page where we're going to be talking some good stuff. So we're
already on that page, but I'm going to get off the Trust Radio Network page. We're already up on the IRS Radio Hour page, and I'm going to turn it off here on the Trust Radio Network page. So go there. It was a great show today with Dan Schultz. You can go to Watch Talk Radio and see it at any time. If you missed some of it, go to watchtalkradio.com. You'll see it. Okay. And then I'm going to sign off of the Trust Radio Network now. We have signed off. Now we're on the IRS Radio Hour.
Oh, man.
It's a sad state of affairs, Jim.
That's not good.
There's never anything good. Now they want a constitutional amendment establishing Supreme Court shall have 9 justices. Porn star is running for governor in California. Gavin Newsom's a porn star? He wouldn't be a star. He might be a bit player. And I don't mean that. I didn't mean that the way it sounded. Okay. Well, let's think about this, Jim, how we're going to do the next show.
Damn.
We're going to do the next show. We're going to I'd say I'm going to elect and we're going to do 5 segments of the next show. What do you think, Jim? 5 segments? The first segment, we're going to do what they call the news roundup. And we're going to talk about the news. I knew what I was going to talk about.
Shut up.
I knew what I was going to talk about, but I don't remember now what I was going to talk about. And I actually thought that we do have that question. Okay. Okay. Well, let's just get into it because we don't want our friend Joliet Josh
and I'm hungry
too long. And I'm thirsty. I went to I never ate breakfast really, and I always had dinner usually 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, because when I worked downtown, I never got home. But now I work across the street. So now I eat, my wife makes dinner about 7 o'clock, and I leave the office, go eat, sit around for a little while, and then go back to the office. That's usually what I do. And I don't remember where I'm going with it, but oh yeah, I know what I was saying. Because now I'm on the 12 to 8. I only eat between 12 and 8. It's not hard for me. Hard for my wife. She doesn't. She tried it. It didn't work for her. but she's like, we're not doing that. I said, you don't have to do it. But that's what I've been doing, and it's kind of working. It keeps you from snacks at 12 o'clock, or so I'm not eating.
It's great for your blood pressure. It's great for your.
I do. I don't know. I haven't been keeping my weight. I don't check my weight like when I was walking up the stairs down. Doing the.
You were fanatical.
Yeah, and so I was every day. I would go to the workout, and then I would weigh myself, and I kept good tabs of where my weight was. I haven't done that since COVID, and I won't go to these places would make me wear a mask to work out. I won't do it, and so that's why I'm not going. I have to do something, otherwise I'll be 900 pounds and over. Because I used to walk from the train to my office, and that was about a mile. So back and forth, a couple miles a day. So at least I got something in. Now my walk is 3 minutes and 40 seconds. That's how long it took me to walk.
What is the answer?
The 560? Is that the answer? Okay, let's do the show right away. Busted. CBS News edited police body cam video. Why would they do that? Well, join us. We're going to do the show. We're going to do it. Let's you and I talk about something, Jim. What would you like to talk about?
I'm just like, every goddamn day there's something going on.
Now the Dems have introduced, the Democrats have introduced the bill to get rid of the Electoral College. They're all in. There is no, we need it now, we need it. And this, I don't know if you saw Tucker Carlson last night. I've been watching, I don't watch on Fox News, but I do watch on YouTube every day. Like right after he airs it, they put it on YouTube. So I'm usually at the office and I'll put it on the Tucker Carlson, what do they call it, monologue at the beginning. And he was talking about this yesterday on his monologue, and he's really going big about immigration, things like that. I suggest.
So is it every time there's a police shooting now, the people are going to be upset?
Well, this is why yes.
They're going to riot?
The answer is yes.
So then,
the answer is yes.
So then...
Unless it's Ashley Babbitt. Otherwise, the answer is yes.
And then it seems...
Unless you're conservative, you could get, and that's really what's going to be the distinction. If you're a conservative, you get shot, you deserved it. Nobody's gonna rally around you. This is what's wrong, and this is what I've been saying for some time on this show. It's the double standard that's maddening. Okay, if we're going to change the laws, let's change the laws, but let's change them for everybody. Let's have the same rules for everybody. But we don't have the same rules for everybody. We seem to mix and match them as we want, depending on who's at fault or who's the one that's hurt. Or it's like, why don't we have the same rules for everybody? I thought that's what we were supposed to do. I thought that's what America was, a nation of laws.
You can't get any information.
I heard that Chicago there was uprisings or peaceful protests, but you can't find any information about that.
You have to watch live streams. So
I've tried to find it. I don't know where to find it.
I sent you.
No, not last night. You didn't.
Woke.net.
You didn't send it to me last night.
Well, I'm watching. That's where I'm watching everything.
What's going on there? So
showing
it used to be what was it? iDrive,
D-Live. They won't have it anymore.
Now they won't. Now you can't find it there. There used to be guys that would have a bunch of people.
YouTube. They used to have it all the time. Facebook all the time. With the live streamers. But now there's.
So where do you go?
You have to go to internet forums. You have to go on like Reddit. You have to start talking to people. How did you see that video? And then I get it. So you ain't gonna see it then. But it's like a full-time job just to get the truth.
And that's the problem. You think that the Chicago media would be, hey, we're live here down Michigan Avenue. There's an uprising here, and there's looting and going on again. But no, they don't. We don't even talk.
Remember that one that happened a couple weeks ago, or like 6 months ago, 8 months ago? That happened in overnight, out of nowhere. That was just in Sunday night.
Yes,
and it just comes out of nowhere.
And then the next day there was a riot on the west side of Chicago, and that never got covered. And they got looting in the west side, and it never got covered. You couldn't find a news story about that. You can go to Jackass. That's where you should. That's where you can go. What is it called, Jim?
Hey Jackass.
HeyJackass.com.
Yeah, but I don't like going to that website. It kind of doesn't give you it just gives you the murder rates and the shootings that are going between.
Well, it tells you what happened last night.
Yeah, but it doesn't. I haven't seen it for unrest. I'll go right now.
I'm there now. Mostly, mostly peaceful weekend.
They do that every week. They do that every time. They just show you. They just show you rates. I don't. Yeah, it's just talking about the shootings. They don't really give you the good stuff.
What's the good stuff?
Well, again, if there's rioting, if there's uprisings, if there's a band of 500 people in Michigan Avenue,
I know
they don't tell you that. They just give you murder rates. That's all this website does.
I searched. I was searching for something about the news. Someone was telling me I'm going downtown. I got to get out of here because I heard that a lot of places. I heard the Clip was going to come out, and so they were trying to get out of downtown. I'm like, well, so then I wanted to know what was going on because I know people that were downtown. Did they get out? This is where we are. Okay, let's do the show and have fun after that. Have fun. I'm having fun. Are you having fun?
I don't get the feeling you're being watched.
Where's it?
I hope we're being watched.
What was that? I don't know what that.
I don't know. But Josh, anytime you're ready, we'll jump right in.
Pursuant to Internal Revenue Service guidance, be advised that any federal tax advice contained in this program is not intended to be used, and it cannot be used by any person or entity for the purpose of avoiding any tax penalties that may be imposed by the Internal Revenue Service or any other U.S. federal taxing authority or agency, or promoting, marketing, or recommending to another party any transaction or matter addressed in the show. The opinions expressed by the host and the guests are their own and may not be used as authoritative advice. Any use of this material without the written consent of the host is strictly prohibited.
You're listening to the IRS Radio Hour with your host, Attorney Stephen Leahy, on AM 560, The Answer. Tune in every week at 5 for an informative discussion about IRS obligations, credit card debt, mortgage default, collection activity, and how to resolve these legal issues using tax resolution, debt settlement, mortgage loan modification, foreclosure defense, and bankruptcy. Your host is Stephen Leahy, and the principal at Open Tax Resolutions and the law office of Stephen Leahy, PC. Stephen is the author of Deal with Your IRS Problems Today. IRS and debt issues are serious, but there is help. There are resolutions. So get ready and take notes during the IRS Radio Hour. And now, here's your host, Attorney Stephen Leahy.
Welcome to the broadcast. We are coming to you from Studio C here at AM 560 The Answer. This is the IRS Radio Hour.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Now remember, this show is sponsored by the law office of Stephen A. Leahy, PC, and Open Tax Advocates.
God bless you, Open Tax Resolution.
Open Tax Advocates helps business professionals solve IRS problems. We help them with audits and levies, liens and garnishments, collections, unfiled tax returns, and payroll tax issues. But we also help people with mortgage foreclosures, loan modifications, bankruptcy, and other debt-related issues. So if you have any of these problems, or if you know someone who does, you should give us a call at 312-664-6649. Again, that number is 312-664-6649, or you can visit us on the web at chicagotaxteam.com. I want to welcome our technical producer is Joliet Josh, and my co-host is Jim Leahy.
Who's in the house?
my very good friend, Jim Lee.
That's who's in the house.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. This is the IRS Radio Hour here on AM 560, The Answer. We want to make a special shout out to a bunch of listeners that have sent us some questions, which we're going to be answering later on in the show. So you got to stay tuned, and you know who that is. We'll give you a mention in a second. But
if you have a question, you should send it to us.
You should send it to us. But again, ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to jump right into the first segment. The news roundup.
Review and comment on.
I'm a little slow because listen, it's just been a tiring week. With everything going on in Minneapolis.
I think they do. The whole
with everything going on now in Chicago. And we record Friday show here Sunday. I don't know what has happened over the weekend. I don't. It's Friday.
Because it hasn't happened yet.
3 o'clock. Right? So it's still light out. I don't know what happened. Hopefully peace. Hopefully nothing crazy. Because it seems like every day now there's craziness. FedEx guy shoots up a place. I mean, you got... I'm just so... absolutely sick and tired of just seeing it.
I get it,
and I know that, ladies and gentlemen, it's just not going to go. It just isn't going to go away. We've been warned.
I get it.
You've been warned. We've been warned. We've seen that. You can see this coming. You can see the anger. You can see the frustration. You can hear it on the streets. You can see it. Well, now it's here. I mean, I don't want to talk. I mean, what do you say? I mean. Right now, as we're talking right here, there's the Portland police. There was a man who had allegedly. and again, I don't know what happened here, but there was a shooting in Portland. The cops shot and killed a guy, and he wasn't of a particular color of a particular organization, but still, people are taken out and getting mob mentality and going crazy. So, what's the answer here? Everyone, I mean, are we really going to defund the police and just sit there and say that's it, no more?
Well, we do have Congress people saying not only defund the police, get rid of all police and stop all incarceration. It's like, what? And let everybody in at the border. So
here's a comment from somebody from far left saying protesting is the only thing that's made me feel good this past year. Well, the lockdowns come in. I warned everybody. This doesn't end well. You don't just give up your constitutional freedoms and your right to live, and it just all comes back and everybody's hunky dory. He breathes anger, hatred towards neighbors, towards your community.
So, Jim, this is generally my area to rant, and so you're.
I'm sorry. I'm
get it.
I'm sick of this, man.
I get it. I understand. And and now everybody's piling on. So we're gonna change the Supreme Court. We're going to get more states. We're going to get rid of the Electoral College. We're going to do all that like next month. We're going to do it right now. This is what they've been trying to do for 20 years, and now there's something open. The door's open, and they're going to run through it. And they don't care what the consequences are or what you think about it, they had a bare majority. That couldn't be any closer. And they're going to that 50.1% is going to shove it down to 49.9%. The rest of us, okay? And they're going to get their way. And I'm going to tell you, once they get their way, there isn't any more votes. Right? We're one party. This is a one party. That's what we call totalitarianism. Okay, and don't fool yourself. Don't think that somehow, and I'm going to tell you, and Jim and I were talking about this. It's not about this politics anymore about right and left or anything. Now it's about the Constitution. Are you going to stand up for the Constitution? I don't care. A lot of Democrats love the Constitution as much as I do.
So last night we had a guest on the Trust Radio Network, Dan Schultz, talking about how you can go and take control of the Republican Party and change it for what you want. And that's one of the pillars that I want to change, and I want it to change is, listen, you can see, for example, I want to pull up a guy like Tim Pool. Used to be a far left guy. All of a sudden now he's a centrist. He goes, listen, I believe in the Constitution, and he started to vote for the like of Donald Trump.
This
he
is
votes
what
for the
we
like
need.
of these
We
people.
need people. You don't have to be a conservative.
You're starting to see this more and more where people who were traditionally on the left paradigm are going, wait, this is too much. I'm not about totalitarianism. I'm actually about free speech. I'm actually about the Constitution.
Every time we've added states to our nation, we've done it in a bipartisan way. It was always equal. You got one that was probably going to go your way. There's one that's going to go our way, and they've always tried to do it so not to cause too much ripple. And this is what's going on right now. And the change is coming way too quickly. Okay, if you want to change, bring consensus. Get out there, put your ideas forward. Matter of fact, if you looked at the election and they asked Joe Biden, he wouldn't even answer the question about it. There was no even debate about whether packing the Supreme Court was a good idea or a bad idea. Oh no, I'm not even thinking about that. When all along, because as soon as he gets elected, he's not even been there 100 days yet. And they're doing all this.
The far woke left wanted Joe Biden in.
And they would lie.
Hold on, they wanted. I want to say this: they wanted Joe Biden in so that they can so they could have a weak president and they can go and take power, and that's how they're going to do it. They know Joe Biden won't stop them.
They've done it. Okay, so again, he hasn't even been 100
No,
days.
they haven't done. I'm talking to people on the streets. I'm talking these groups, these far left fringe groups, these several different factions that are trying to take over these.
He's not even been in 100 days, and now we're getting these. These are things that all Americans should come to a consensus about. Okay, you want to leave it? You want a new state to come in? Let's talk about it. Let's debate it. Maybe we should put it to the vote to the American people. Well, do we do it? It's called Congress. No, we didn't. Nobody talked about that during the election. Well, maybe we should talk about whether we want 4 more Supreme Court justices. Oh no, it's going back to the original. The reasoning behind here is it's full. They're lying to us about the reasons. Okay, we know the reasons.
They won't tell you.
The reason. Here's the reason. You want power. That's the reason. You want to shut down the opposite side. That's the reason. Okay? You don't want Republicans to get elected to anything, not the dog catcher. That's the reason. Okay? You want to shut up half of America. That's the reason. Okay? And we all know what the reasons are. And they're all working against us. Okay, and now it's not only the government. Right now we got corporate America, and they're on board, and they're doing everything they can to stop you and stop everybody. And you think it's only me? As I said, it's not only conservatives and Republicans. It's anybody who opposes them, and there's lots of Democrats who oppose them too, and they're against them too. And we need to join with them to strengthen our Constitution and protect our Constitution.
Right, because there's like the family values and the old
side.
We'll talk about that another time. Let's focus on the Bill of Rights. Let's talk about the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. We could argue about that at another time. Let's get back on the same page. Anyway, a great show today. Open Tax Advocate sponsor the show. 312-664-6649 to visit ChicagoTaxTeam.com. Again, we want to thank one of our listeners, Erwin, for writing a question for us, and we're going to be doing that a little bit later in the show. Next segment, you got to stay tuned. Attorney Stephen Leahy, he's going to be talking about the blog report. Very important information you need to hear. We're going to be talking about the Constitution. We're just going to have a great show, so you got to stay tuned. Listen to our sponsors because I got to go to commercial break. I don't want to do it, but I have to, and we'll be right back here on AM 560, The Answer.
I didn't even mention about the HR 1 of changing all the voting rules.
Well, that's what
I didn't even talk about that.
We are going to talk about that in this Constitution segment.
They're just piling it up and 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 they're ramming it through and they're ramming. They learned with Obamacare. We can do whatever we want.
I love this freaking tree, dude.
I don't think it's a tree, dude. It might be me. I'm very hairy.
You're Steve.
Okay, I'm not that hairy. I'm less hairy every day. Let me tell you that. It was always kind of bald at the time. Now I'm kind of bald because it's going down the sides and on my temples. Now it's all gone. All my hair is gone. I've always said the hair is kind of meaningless and overblown. It's overhyped.
It's just funny. These people.
Not that I want to date a bald girl.
These people abolish the police, but if they were to take over, who's going to enact your laws? Well, they'll have police.
Oh! It's not about getting rid of police. It's getting rid of local police. They'll have federal police. Everything's going to be federal. This is what totalitarians do because they need to control all of this. They got to get rid of the police unions who are fighting. Let's do it.
Welcome back to the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy. Stephen has helped hundreds of Chicagoans recover from financial disaster, and he wants to help you and your family. There are resolutions, and you will hear about all those resolutions during today's informative discussion on the IRS Radio Hour on AM 560 The Answer. Now, here's your host, attorney Stephen Leahy.
Welcome back to the program. I'm attorney Stephen Leahy, like the guy just said. This is the AM 560 The Answer. We're here at the IRS Radio Hour with Joliet Josh, our technical producer. My nephew is Jim Leahy, and Jim and I do several shows here on AM 560 The Answer. I
wouldn't say several.
Well, two. I think is two several? I think
two's a couple.
Several might be three, but I do other shows too. So that
Josh, what is your take on is several two shows?
I think several is technically for 3 or more.
I think that's true. I think you're right.
Yeah. So we have to get another show.
We'll do another show later. But right now,
you do the podcast at the same time, so technically you're doing 3 shows.
Oh, he is right.
He's the technical producer.
The Joliet Josh coming out swinging haymakers.
He knows what he's talking about.
I love it.
So talk about the other show.
So we have another show called The Trust Radio
One of the
Network,
several that we do.
where we talk about, where we introduce you to professionals that you need to turn to. We say you need to because you could trust them when you're making an important decision. And one of the most important decisions is how to fix your party. And we had a guest from Arizona, Dan Schultz, attorney Dan Schultz. I know he's not from the Chicagoland area, but his information needs to be heard by all here on this station. If you missed that segment, you can go to our Facebook page, The Trust Radio Network, or you could go over to our Spotify page. You can listen to the show. All of our episodes are on there. Attorney Dan Schultz is talking about how you can go and become a precinct committeeman and take over the Republican Party. Bring it back to what we believe in, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. That is what we need to do. Don't sit back anymore and let these rhinos run the party, and you're just cut out of it. Go and take control. It's really not about control, right? It's about being a part of community and taking that back.
You know who has control, Jim? The IRS has control.
Yeah, they do. I love springtime. I love.
Is that because you have?
Because if you could hear, I'm a little nasally.
Nasally.
I have a tree in full bloom outside this window right now, ladies and gentlemen, who's listening to this show, and woo, I am loving it, as they say in that big box chain. That's anyway. Without further ado, it's the blog segment. The blog. The blog. The Blog Report with attorney Stephen Leahy. He's going to give information that you need to know when you make important decisions. Also sponsored by Winston Cigarettes. No, anyway. No, I wanted to make it sound old-timey.
And that does make it sound old-timey.
The doctor's favorite cigarette.
I agree. But I'm going to talk about something that
pregnant mothers love the taste of menthol.
That was before menthol.
I know.
We didn't even.
No, there was menthol. I never
saw anybody smoking menthol back in the day. Actually, almost everybody I knew in my even the kids, because we all smoked, would be Pall Malls or something. No filter, nothing. Always picking off tobacco from it. That's what I remember the adults doing.
Lucky Strikes, the same cigarette.
Okay, so I'm not going to talk about cigarettes, though. I'm going to talk about the IRS.
Something more.
What's going on with the IRS, okay? Yeah. Because people are getting, I think they're getting into some lax, because the IRS is not coming after you. So he's thinking, IRS problems, that's a thing of the past. We're never going to have IRS problems again.
Joe Biden's thinking of me.
They're going to get rid of the IRS. We're not going to have IRS problems. But we just come out that they're going to drastically increase the budget of the IRS so they can start collecting. The IRS commissioner was out. They say, well, the gap the gap is the difference between what they think they should collect and what they actually do collect. And they were always saying that's about $500 billion that was out there that they didn't collect that they could. So now the new commissioner comes out. Actually, I think that the gap is actually $1 trillion. Because now we talk about trillions, we don't talk about billions anymore, right? So now, because $500 billion is not enough, it doesn't get anybody's attention anymore. So now they got to say, it's $1 trillion, and how are we going to get that trillion? We can't let those people cheat, because you know who's cheating? Rich people are cheating. And we're going to go after the rich people. But let me tell you something, folks. You're the rich people. Okay, they're not going after millionaires and billionaires. They have great accountants and lawyers going after protecting them. They're talking about people who are running their own business, that are trying to make a living. Those are the rich people. Those are the people that they're going to go after. They already said they're going to increase audits by 50% for small business people. So this is what's going to happen, right? They're going after people. So I've been helping people with IRS problems for some time now. One of the things we always talk about, the 6 things you can do if you owe the IRS money, right? One of the 6 things is bankruptcy. And nobody wants to file bankruptcy. I get that, okay? But when you start talking about the numbers and you start talking about what stops the IRS, right? The IRS is the biggest, baddest collection agency out there, okay? And there's very little things that are more powerful than the IRS. But there is one thing that is more powerful than the IRS, and that's our federal court system. Okay, and so sometimes, now we have tax court, but tax court gets very expensive and litigious and takes a long time. Okay, so what's the other federal court that will stand in the way and stop the IRS? It's the bankruptcy laws. Bankruptcy laws are federal laws, and when you file for protection under the bankruptcy laws, immediately, I'm not talking about a week, 2, immediately, there's what they call an automatic stay is put in place. And the automatic stay stops all your creditors, even the IRS, from going after you and taking your things away from you. So I just had a gentleman come to see me, and the IRS had kind of let him go. He said, I guess I was under the radar screen. I had to tell him, there is no radar. They don't use radar. They use computers. Now, you might have fell through the cracks, and he owed, get this, over $1 million. Over $1 million. And
that's a lot of money.
Yes.
That's a lot of money.
He hasn't filed his tax returns in some years.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
So no, that's not obvious.
For me, just saying that's a lot of money.
But that's not obvious. Okay, so and he hasn't filed his tax returns in some years. But so all of his tax, all that $1 million is more than 3 years old. And so what does that mean? That means they're dischargeable in bankruptcy. Okay, and he owes $1 million, so that means he can avoid the means test. Doesn't matter what your income is. Okay, and people don't know this. Okay, so what do we? And the IRS called them and told them, we're going to start garnishing your wages next Monday. Monday we're starting to garnish your wages. So what can you do? Well, you can file for protection under the bankruptcy laws, because that'll stop any garnishment. Okay, here's another secret that I wanted you to know. Okay, here we are, April. Remember I said 3 years. They have to be due more than 3 years ago. Well, 3 years ago was 2018. And 2017 taxes are due in 2018. So it's 2017. The year 2017 year taxes are going to be dischargeable. And what I say going to be, because today is Sunday, right? Today's Sunday. Today's 6. It starts today, and this is the trick, right? So he comes to see me right before the 15th, and we're like, well, we wait for the 15th, and then those taxes will be dischargeable too. But here's what happened. In 2018, the April 15th fell on a Sunday, and Sunday was not the due date. The April 15th was not the due date. And so he said, well, then it was the 16th, the next Monday. There was a Washington, D.C. Holiday on that day, on the 16th. So it was actually due on the 17th of April. So if you filed on the 15th or the 16th, those taxes in 17 wouldn't have been dischargeable. But here's the thing. I knew that, right? So we wait until the date is over, and then we file. Now, this is what's going to happen in 3 years from now, right? Or 2 years from now, because the 2 years, the due date was moved to July. Right, so now you think, oh, it's April, and I'm going to wait. No, now you got to wait till July, after July. And if you ask for an extension that year, now you got to wait till October. Right, so you got to be careful when you're thinking about this stuff. And if you're thinking about filing bankruptcy and you have tax problems, you better get somebody who understands this stuff. Okay, because it might make the difference between walking away from 20 grand, 30 grand, or more, and being stuck with it. Okay, so make sure you get somebody who understands this stuff before you start filing bankruptcy with some guy who's just going to not look at what's going on. So that's my advice.
Big box outfit.
That's right.
That concludes another episode of the Blog Report. Remember, Attorney Stephen Leahy will give information that you need to know when fighting the IRS. So give him a call at 312-664-6649. Don't change that dial because we're going to continue our awesome show. So you got to stay tuned after this commercial break here on AM 560. The Answer.
Not bad for a little improvisation. You know why? Because I know about this stuff. I live it every day. Okay, and I can talk about these different cases and nuances of this IRS and bankruptcy law that most people don't know about. It's just
I tell you that they I tried to pay off a credit card bill and somebody had opened up a bankruptcy in my name.
No,
they started fighting. They said they put it in bankruptcy collections because there was a Chapter 7. They said, and I was like, I have never, not once, even considered filing for bankruptcy.
So you think someone used your credit, your Social Security number?
So there's several people with the exact same person last name. I rarely use my middle name. So there's tons of Joshua Buckhalters, believe it or not. And I believe it. I think we're getting.
But there's only one.
There's only one Joliet Josh. Also, by the way, I love how that just rolls out now. It's just natural.
It does take time.
Like we said, the first few days you have to just keep going, and now
it took me some time for Buckhalter. See, Walter. I'm going back to the old time. But and we got that. But Joliet Josh just comes off better. How you doing, Jim?
Rough. Is that camera zoomed in me the whole time?
It is right now.
I love that.
No, I'm just kidding. It's not. It's not.
I walked around. My nose cleared up the moment I sat down by that tree.
Are you a sight guy? Will the sight irritate?
I don't know, man. Dude, every year for the past 5-6 years during spring, that tree is like, oh, good. It's a pretty tree. It just kills me.
Okay, well, we're going to do a Constitution segment. I don't know what we're going to talk about, Jim, but I'm going to talk about all the changes that they're trying to do to the Constitution. I happen to think...
Sounds like you know what you're going to talk about.
I have to go back and read the Constitution again about because I don't know if they can do H.R. 1. I don't know if they can do... but, nothing seems to stand in their way. Nothing stands in their way now. It's just amazing to me. And this is what we need. We need a conversation about changing the size of the Supreme Court. Maybe that's something we should have a discussion about.
Yeah.
And not just let Jerry Nadler stand up and say, that's what we're doing. And when are we going to do it? Tomorrow. Oh, well, that doesn't seem right. Oh, you know what else we're going to do? We're going to change the Electoral College.
I just love how...
I don't think they can change the Electoral College by vote. It's in the Constitution. But that won't stop them either. We found a way around it. Oh, great. That's what our representatives should be doing, is finding a ways around the Constitution.
You know what? I love how both sides use each other. Antifa, all the far radical leftist
Horseshoe
groups.
theory. Told you, man. Horseshoe theory.
What is that? Tell me.
They're going so extreme that they're all coming back around to the same thing.
Well,
I believe they were never different in the first place. You can only have two wings of the same bird.
It's funny that you say that because I've seen that. You've seen these discussions about the left and the right and how I'm against this, but I'm against that too. I hate that.
Fighting the same thing. It's a boogeyman.
Yeah.
It's a boogeyman. Two wings of the same bird, and the bird's trying to screw us all.
Well, yes. And it doesn't matter, Republican or Democrat. These guys will step all over
and
you.
The bird is the CCP.
Dude, they're all... How many of these guys preach about looking out for the elite, but they're all rich. They're not. None of them are poor people.
Oh, poor people. They don't listen to poor people.
Exactly. That's my point. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You got. I have a long-standing belief that you have to have a little something off to even want to do this like that at that level. Yeah, come on. I don't need that.
Well, everybody.
I don't know. I like Dan Crenshaw. I mean, there are some representatives.
Well, do you like Dan Crenshaw because he's a politician or because of his backstory?
No, I like his. I like it. I personally don't.
Actually, I love his backstory. Whenever I listen to him as a politician, I have to. He's a politician. I just heard,
that's what I.
I don't know. Anytime he's on Joe Rogan, did you hear Joe Rogan?
Thanks for answering for me.
What is that? What you were going to say?
That's literally what I was going to say.
I can't say that.
No, he asked me a question. Going, do you like him because of this? I was like, no, because he's on. I've listened to him before in the Joe Rogan Experience, and I liked what he had to say.
As I'm on my way down to get Rick O'Benny's, my son and I listened to Joe Rogan and interviewed Dan Crenshaw. So, and that's before now he had an operation on his other eye.
Oh yeah, he lost his sight.
Yeah, so
he lost his other eye.
He hasn't lost it, but it's he can't see now at least for a month. They say so. It was a detached retina again. So
he said it was the same injury that took out his eye here. His
damage caused.
Yeah,
my mom had that. She was hit by it was a car when she was a kid. Pinhole in this one, but I think that's gone now. And then she's got like nothing in the other side.
Is that right?
Yeah. So that's rough, man. That's rough.
It is rough. It's we take it for granted. Mm-hmm. Same thing with hearing.
Life in general, man. We don't appreciate how simple
until something is taken away, and then you're like, oh,
yep.
I shouldn't have said those words to my dad, or I shouldn't have been a jerk that time, or and you just then it's too late, and you're like, damn, and then you have egg on your face. You're like,
they always say never react out of anger because you can never put that.
I agree with that.
You can never take that back.
I was I got to tell you, kind of a learning experience for my son. He was going to write a nasty letter to somebody in his past. And I had to say, don't do that, Joe. And he's like, oh, she deserves it. And I'm like, at least wait till tomorrow, to send it. Because you think you're going to make her feel bad.
She's not even thinking about it.
No, you're the one that's feeling bad. You're the one that's going to look like a goof. Okay, so you can't be happy if you're mad all the time. Okay, so get over it. Mm-hmm. All of us have bad things. I had to tell them. We live in a nice neighborhood. What you see as a bad thing, the rest of the world would say, "This is what you're complaining about." But I know it's big to him, and I get that. But
that's why you approach it that way, though. Like, hey, okay, we'll just wait then. We'll just see what.
So wait 24 hours, and
almost not going to be that.
Almost always, if you we've all done it. I've written a nasty email to someone, and sometimes, like especially in the legal field, right? You could come off as very curt, because you're like, oh, and I have to stop. I read it. Call them, right? Then you won't sound that way. I don't want to sound curt. I don't want to sound mean.
Could you imagine how many
I agree with that.
I agree. I'm a terrible texter. I'm awful at it. I can't do it. I'm very business or down to like, so yeah, I don't like puff it up. It's terrible. I have to see you face to face or talk to you on the phone. And
I agree with that. My kid, well, my kids always make, yeah. I agree. Yeah. My kids make fun of me because I like to text in full sentences, right? No, I don't, and because I think punctuation has something to do with what you're saying, right? And so when you take that out, yeah, and it's like so that's like that's just like a squawk. Back off.
I just had this happen to myself where it was a buddy of mine, like we were talking about going golfing, and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna get a golf cart, it's okay. And he goes, why are you mad? And I'm like, I'm not mad. I was like, see, something gets so lost, and I was like, listen, things get lost in translation. It's like, Dustin, yeah, I would rape you in that shirt. I didn't really mean that, and it gets lost in translation. He thought it was funny. That's why I said I wanted to shock value.
You shocked me.
I know.
Yeah, I know how.
Yeah.
I was just going through in my own mind. I'm just putting through. It's got.
That's funny stuff.
I agree. And again, and if you're writing something nasty, put it to the side for a while. Do it tomorrow. That's right. Exactly.
Herm Edwards always questioned if he was going to the playoffs. No, he didn't. He wasn't the one that said playoffs.
Playoffs?
No, but he was.
Is that the guy?
What was his? Herm Edwards did. Win the game. You play to win the game.
I love that.
This is true, though.
Yeah, and because he's right. Practice.
Why are they doing it? They're doing it for champion.
And if you are doing it to show up, it sure shows on your in your performance. That's why why you guys are losing.
It's like when CC Sabathia went.
Blackhawks.
Yeah, CC Sabathia
Cubs.
went to rehab during the during the playoffs, and CC Sabathia right before he goes, you know what? I need to take time for myself. I have a drug addiction. I need to take time for myself. You're like, good for you. You know you do. And it's like, okay. No, I think that you should take care of yourself. But you have just screwed your team now. You think you could have just done a little bit more drugs just for a month? And then do it after your team is out of the playoffs?
It would have helped.
But I mean, why did you choose at this moment?
Why not?
That is your livelihood, your job, to do that, to get paid millions upon millions of dollars. Now, I get it. I want people to be healthy and happy, and I understand drugs are bad. Stay away from them. But, brother, guy, what are you doing? That is in the playoffs.
Unless he's abusing his family at home, and then they...
Yeah.
Well, that's a different
Jonathan Taze. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to create speculation. Everybody who's here, I just hope that he's okay. The reality is that's probably what it is. I don't know. I have no idea. I wouldn't be the one to ask about that. I am a doctor. I am not a doctor. I stayed at a Holiday Inn last night. Okay. But, yeah, I stayed at a La Quinta Inn last night, so I might be able to do heart surgery. But the point, you're right. Like Marion Hossa, I don't know if that was necessarily.
No,
he was allergic to the gear. I don't think that's what it was. I think he was just like. I think
he's just old,
beat up. They had to say something that was like that. I'm a conspiracy theorist, so I could be wrong.
You haven't been top yet.
Like, bro, take care of yourself. But like that, you're doing the drugs.
How long have you been doing them?
Good drugs.
Years.
Yeah.
Well, can you wait another week? 2 weeks? You want to clean
You're
yourself
doing
up?
The good drugs.
I decided I'm going to clean myself up.
You're not doing garbage.
Well, you don't know that.
True, but if you were in that if you are in that market,
his crowd,
I am going to look for. I'm not speaking for other people.
But you're not in the market. You can't go out and start. Hey, who's got the best? Who's got the best drugs out here? You got to go to your friends, the crew.
You're ridiculous.
And it's true.
You're a professional baseball player. All I got to do is walk through the club. I go to anywhere and somebody goes, "Yo, I got you." Of course, that's why he sends somebody else to go get it.
That's what I'm saying. But what is he
getting? They know he's part of the crew. They know the good money.
Oh, you don't know.
I'm telling you.
They don't want him to be part. I don't want anybody to know I'm doing this. Oh. Lawrence Taylor.
Please. So we can share it on the screen.
Funny in a peculiar kind of way. It's kind of sad.
Could you imagine being in this community and just like, it's a beautiful day. There's a lot of people. Oh my God, the cops shot a crazy man with a knife. Oh, good. They're riding in front of my house. Beautiful morning.
It's everywhere.
We're gonna. I know. You better start living in the middle of nowhere because it's coming everywhere. This week is just showing it's everywhere.
It's breaking. Raul Castro steps down as the head of the Communist Party. They usually have to die to get out of there. I think his brother gave it to him and then died later. But I'm going to tell you something about communists. They're communists. I mean, you don't have to say anything else.
Breaking.
What do you? Well, I'm a different. No, you're a communist. Yeah. We could put something else in there. We could call you when you say communist. What you really mean is totalitarianism.
Yeah.
Or I'm in charge and I want more. That's really what it means. Yes, because the people in charge, they're living well. Okay. Oh, they live well. So it's really not about. It's like the girl from the BLM now when they come out with all the houses, and she. So did you see the interview with her? Their interview. Oh, that's she has been. She has been. No, I know. Yeah. Okay, so she was just on an interview, and they were asking her, "Why? How can you be a Marxist?" And I look at my money as my family money, and I'm doing this with for my family. So I'm still a communist. You're not living a communist lifestyle, except for if you're on the top. Right?
Oh, my friend, that's where you're wrong. I am living the communist lifestyle.
I guess that's right. I'm gonna be one of the haves, and then all you people that are following me, you'll get whatever.
If they were smart, instead of creating the organization Black Lives Matter, they would create an organization Blank Lives Matter, and then ran with Black Lives Matter, so that way everything now falls under Lives Matter. I get you, but I'm saying trademark it. You know what I'm saying?
How did you get all that money? Why are they giving you all the money? So I'm familiar with the guy. I'm familiar with the guy. I'm familiar with the guy up in one of the counties in the area, and he says the same thing. It's like, wait a minute, why aren't you helping these organizations throughout the nation? You guys are getting so much money, but where's I don't know how that is made, but we know how to do it. And the local, and they want to call. We got someone to call. Let's get her on. Let's get her. Yeah, let's put her on. Let's put her on. Let's put her on. Let's put her on. And so then she becomes the face of the movement, and everybody else in the movement is like, wait a minute, she's not even here. We don't. Yeah. We don't even know who she is. How did she get in there? Her and her friend. Okay, let's do it. Constitution segment.
Until the end of time, we the people make a resolution to defend the Constitution. We're not listening to that out in the United States of America. So let liberty, justice, and freedom reign. It's the Constitution segment. Our Constitution is a document in which we the people tell the judge what it is allowed to do.
Everybody know I am the judge. Okay, sometimes we put that in, but I'm not talking about the Supreme Court today. Although there's been a lot going on in the Supreme Court, and I wanted to talk about one thing is, I think we've lost Justice Roberts. That's just my opinion. in that he's always voting with that other side now. I didn't mean lose. But I wanted to talk about the way that the Constitution is being changed now right before our eyes without a constitutional amendment. And it's funny because as this song was playing, and I've heard that Raul Castro was gone, and I read this. Castro made the announcement Friday in a speech at the opening of the 8th Congress of the ruling party, the only one allowed in Cuba. So they only have one party in Cuba, right? They only allow one party in Cuba. And this is where we are in America, I believe, or we're working that way, right? We only want one party rule. We want to make sure that only Democrats have the power in the Senate. So we're going to put 2 more states in. We want to make sure that only Democrats have a say in what goes on in the Supreme Court. So we're going to add 4 more justices. We want to make sure that only Democrats are elected to any office. And so we're going to change the laws of election laws everywhere in the country. We want to make sure that only Democrats can win. So we're going to, all of these different ways, we're going to change the Electoral College. Even though, and this is what you got to be careful of, right? When people start telling you, well, this is not going to be unconstitutional, and it won't be unconstitutional because we found a way around the Constitution. Well, be careful, okay? Because when people are looking to find their way around the Constitution, right, they're trying to violate your rights. Right, the Constitution. It's not only what's spelled out in the Constitution. There's a meaning behind it. Right, there's things behind those words and ideas that are behind those words, and it's the ideas that we're supposed to be protecting, not merely the words. Right, and that's why I think it gets lost all the time, and that we go to the Supreme Court and they say, that comma means something else. And so we're going to change what this really means. We're going to change the interpretation because the comma is in a way that it shouldn't be. We got to go back to the ideas, right? That the Declaration of Independence spelled out, right? That these truths are self-evident, right? Not the text of the
Constitution. Said yesterday, and that's what he was really hitting on. Dan Schultz again for the Trust Radio Network. That's what he's talking about. Going and changing your community. If you missed that episode, if you're just tuning in right now, go over into our Facebook page, the Trust Radio Network, and watch that interview. Every AM 560 listener should listen to that interview.
So here's the thing. Our Constitution is really the key. And when all of these things that they're trying to get around the Constitution, we should be suspect. No, we shouldn't be suspect. We know what they're trying to do. We should stop it. We should do all we can to stop it because the Constitution, they've all taken an oath to follow the Constitution, not to find ways around it. And when they tell you they're trying, we found, this Electoral College thing. Well, I know in the Constitution it says this, but we found a way around it. We can manipulate different states to do different things, and we can get around the Constitution. It's not the way the Constitution's written that I hold dear. It's the ideas behind the Constitution, the freedom of the individual that we're supposed to hold dear and we're supposed to promote and encourage and protect. But we're not doing any of that anymore. Now we're finding ways around it every chance we get, whether it's election laws or mostly election laws, right? And it's really it comes down to one thing: power. And this is what's going on, as I mentioned, in the Castros in Cuba. Well, it's no coincidence it was him and his brother, right? I mean, they didn't like have friends and family or friends and other people involved that are. No, my brother and me, we're running this. That's it. From 1960 till the day I die, that's what we're going to do. And I don't know who's going to put in charge, but I bet you it's going to be his son or something like that. It won't be some stranger. I'll guarantee that. And that's what's happening in our own country. We need a two-party system to keep them both. It's called balance. Okay, we need a balance. I don't like everything the Democrats do, but they balance us. We need balance. We can't have one party in control.
Open Tax Advocates is there for you. 312-664-6649 or visit ChicagoTaxTeam.com. It's going to be your hub to help fight the IRS again. We just like a stream of ideas, free-flowing ideas, freedom of speech.
I'd be against it even if it was just the Republicans. I'd be against this. I don't want them to take over the power.
I agree.
What?
Anyway, we'll be right back here on AM 560.
The answer.
Listen,
and that's what you and I were talking about on the way here, right?
Start doing that. I know, and that's what I'm saying. And that's what we were talking about earlier, Joliet, Josh. We were talking about, again, how to reform the Republican Party. It's like, it doesn't have to only be, right, the MAGA movement, even though, right, I stand with it. It's, I think that there are more people, and we were just talking about that a little bit earlier, that there are more people that were historically on the left, right, in the paradigm, that are now sitting with people who are they're like, what? Wait, I don't agree with anything that's going on here. The taking away the freedom of speech, the grabbing the guns, the right to property.
So
right?
what?
We're taking a look at right to property.
Oh, I didn't even mention that. Okay, but again, it's every idea in the Constitution. Those ideas that we're trying to protect.
That's based on the American ideas.
This is why
Constitution, the Bill of Rights is the founding actual. The first 10 amendments. That's where like yes. We all 100% agree. The first 10 amendments, that's what we're founded on. If you agree with that, let's go from there.
I agree.
And we can have arguments later on after we get this all settled out.
This is why
after we get this all settled out, we'll talk about all the other issues that people have fought about in the past. This is why
I give people like this Naomi Wolf a lot of credit. Because I saw her on the show, and she said, I used to think the Republicans were the devil. She said, but now I look around in my own party trying to take over this. We need to come together, okay? These people that I thought were the devil and realize that we're all fighting for the Constitution.
Do you remember the last time this happened in American history?
You mean the Revolution or the Civil War?
Well, I guess when I mean the last time this happened, the Civil War really was about, again, right, the slavery was the huge issue, right? But also, too, the fact that nobody can come together for compromise, and the South just said, "No, that's it." Abraham Lincoln won route.
What's the
and left.
It would have been much better if we would have just said, this is what you're going to do. We're just gonna give you all this money and let's avoid the war. That's what we should have done. But anyway,
history's all like what.
What's the question? What's the question?
I got it. I just the guy.
I want to write it down here. So.
Let's go on the Trust Radio Network website.
I can't do that right now.
Hold on.
I know it's about the IRS.
Column in the Tribune Business Section, April 12th. IRS has not processed millions of 2019 paper returns. Prevents 2020 e-filing.
Okay, so the question is, IRS, are they behind?
But I'm going to say this from a listener, and then you can go off on it.
And this is so, I live this every damn day about the IRS and their inactivity. And, so I'll talk. I'm laughing because I really didn't have a script coming in here or an idea, but sometimes that's when I perform the best.
That's because you're brilliant.
I know, Jim. I know I am. Josh is laughing. He's on the floor laughing in there. It's like, he's not brilliant.
Josh is literally rolling on. Josh is really not that funny, man. Yeah. It's really not that funny.
One day we'll get a camera in there with Josh.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I don't think he.
No, we won't do that.
Let's do it.
You want to?
Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Tax man.
But your shirt's not that tight.
I have.
You got a jacket on.
I have the tight shirt.
I know, but he's not going to mention because you're not wearing a tight shirt.
He didn't even say anything.
If you had a tight shirt, he might say something.
He would have asked, "Where's Jimmy's tight shirt?"
Yeah, I am the tax man here on AM 560, The Answer, with Joliet Josh and Jim Leahy, my co-host, and you, the listener. Mr.
That's
Know-It-All.
right, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Know-It-All, segment where Attorney Stephen Leahy gives us his infinite wisdom on all things taxes. Sorry, I'm reading some of the comments for our live stream, and I just wanted to. I got lost in translation. We have a listener. We have a listener.
At least
question.
one.
At least, yeah, we have at least one listener. I know that for sure. But a good.
My
friend,
sister listens every day.
Erwin, thanks so much for bringing to our attention. Here's what he sent over to us. IRS has not processed millions of 2019 paper returns and prevents 2020 e-filing because no AGI 2019 number. I guess the question is the IRS behind?
The answer is, here's the answer. Yes, they're behind. Okay, AGI stands for Adjusted Gross Income. I don't know if you knew that, Chip. But that
I did not know that.
And oftentimes you have to have that to do the next tax return. And so here's the thing. And this is what people are, why haven't I got my refund yet? They haven't even processed your return yet. Okay, now what's going on, right? Because they changed the law, and I can blame the IRS, and sometimes I can't blame the IRS on some of this stuff. So first off, they're government employees, and all government employees were home last year, right? So they're trying to work out of their house. They weren't really prepared to, because the IRS really wasn't the kind of organization that said, yeah, let's all work out of our house. Okay, so now they're all working out of their house. They don't have access to a lot of things. And so, for instance, the first thing I want to do when people come to see me after is I want to send the power of attorney to the IRS, so the IRS knows that I am working with these people, and I put myself between me and them and the IRS. Now I'm between them, so they can't go after you now. They can't go to your house. They can't go to your job. They can't call you on the phone. You have a lawyer, and they know it, and they have to contact your lawyer. Okay, that's why you should have a lawyer and not an accountant. But anyway, I digress. But here's the thing. When I send the CAF to the CAF unit, the centralized authorization unit, what happens is it's supposed to be between 10 business days, 10 to 15 business days that they're supposed to put it in the system. And then once it's in the system, I can pull all your transcripts. I can do an investigation. I can find out about what they say, what you say, when's the last time you returned, can I file your back taxes because I can get all the wage and income, all of that. The IRS has all of that, but I have to get permission to get it. And the IRS is very, very protective of that information. So now when I send a CAF to the CAF unit, this power of attorney, 2848, form 2848, to the CAF unit, it doesn't get processed. I have some from November of last year. Actually, matter of fact, I have a bunch lined up. I check every day, or at least 3 times a week. I check on these same clients to see if it's gone through. And one just went through from November, and then one just went through from the end of November. So they're still in November for these things. Now, the good news is that now I got to tell you, when we sent in, a lot of times people hire me, they haven't paid their taxes in some years, so we've gone back and done 2014, 2015, 2016 tax returns. We send those in. You can't send those in electronically, so we send those in by paper. They're over a year old. They haven't even touched them. So yes, the IRS is behind. Yes, they're going to continue to be behind. They threw on now the stimulus stuff. Right now they have to do the stimulus stuff, and they haven't had a chance to get to that. And now they have to go back and redo a lot of tax returns, because when people filed their tax returns, unemployment was going to be taxable. So they put it in their tax returns that it was taxable. Now Congress come out and said, well, we're not going to tax you on it. So now the IRS has to go back and redo all of their tax return. They're going to do it for you. So that's just no more work piled on to the IRS. They're already behind. Now they're farther behind. And then the stimulus checks, and on and on and on and on. I hope it changes. Again, they're trying to move to more electronic, because it used to be I had to fax these power of attorneys to the IRS. Now they're accepting electronic signatures and electronic submission. So maybe that'll help. Maybe it won't. Well, we'll see. It hasn't really helped. Because they're still so far behind that even when you put something in electronically, it doesn't jump to the front of the line. So they are behind. You have to be so don't think they forgot about you. If you owe the IRS money, they haven't forgotten about you. They just haven't gotten to you yet, and they will. They'll get to you, and that's what it's costing the IRS a lot of money, because any refund they got to pay if they haven't paid it out. Like last year, they had to pay a huge amount of money in interest to people that they didn't get their refunds out in a timely fashion. So anyway, I hope this answers your question.
And thank you to the listener out there, Erwin, for sending us that question, for that comment, for that.
What if someone else has a question?
If you have a question, I don't know why I said it that way, but if you have a question, go over to the Trust Radio Network Facebook page. You can get our email from there, send it over to us. You can go to the Trust Radio Network Facebook page. All you got to do is look up Trust Radio Network. Or you can call Open Tax Advocates at 312-664-6649 or visit ChicagoTaxTeam.com. It's going to be your help. They'll fight the IRS. Stay tuned. We'll be right back here on AM 560. The Answer.
You.
We're getting topless up in here.
Ooh.
Well, this is for David. David wants tight shirts. What David wants, Daddy gets.
Is he on?
Yeah, he's sure. David, I got a tight shirt for you, brother. Josh, I need the mic. Thank you. David, I got a tight shirt for you, brother. I tried to wear the tightest shirt I possibly could. In fact, please take a picture so that I can send this to David. Please.
Well, aren't you saying?
It fits him perfect. I know he can read this, too. This is for you, buddy. You're my guy. You're my guy, David. I love David Hochberg, Team Hochberg. Trusted professional. I'm just wearing it straight for him. Please. Yeah, this is for you, bud. This bud's for you.
That's sick. You're a sad, sad man.
I know.
That you wait just to...
I wore it. I had this bit. I thought it was pretty funny. I love this shirt. It's just that doesn't fit. I mean, it clearly does not fit.
It fits you well.
Yeah, it does not fit.
It fits as well as your other shirts you wear. They don't fit you either. Your pants don't fit you either.
Oh, good. Thanks for calling out my...
Big butt.
She doesn't have money.
You can leave that shirt on. Oh, my gosh.
This for you. I'll go on the show without a shirt on.
Oh, my Lord. Please don't.
Excuse me, sir.
The vultures are circling.
They think that there's some bloated carcass.
No, they know that there's
a bloated carcass just ready for death. This is for him. Just for David.
Just for Dave.
All right, everybody. We're going to jump right in the last.
Hey, segment. Everybody.
Thanks for staying tuned. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for telling your friends and your family. Remember, Open Tax Advocate sponsor the show. We're going to jump right in, Josh, whenever you are ready. David goes, not tight enough.
It's you, Jim.
Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not your host, Attorney Stephen Leahy, but your co-host, Jim Leahy, and we did have a blast, right? Because the show's about coming to an end here. Last segment. And we really appreciate you joining in. We had a great weekend slot.
That's right. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
That's right. Well, give Shalom Klein a listen because he's going to do a fantastic job like he always does.
Fantastic, yes.
But again, we had Dan Schultz with us last night talking about how to change the Republican Party. I suggest everybody go to the Trust Radio Network Facebook page and watch that interview. It's not too long.
Or you go to Watch Talk Radio if you're boycotting Facebook like I am.
Or you can go to Spotify because it will be recorded there and you can just listen
that's
to
video.
it.
That's not a video. That's
not
that's
video,
audio.
It's audio. But again, ladies and gentlemen, it was a fantastic weekend block.
We sometimes talk about sports here. So what the sport I want to talk about is the Masters last week.
Oh my God, what a fantastic! Did you watch any of that, Joliet, Josh? A little bit.
We watched, Jim and I watched the end together, and then we watched a lot of some highlights and how many people have lost it in the that were ahead. Even great ones like Honor Palmer, shoots a double bogey or triple bogey on the 18th hole to lose the Masters. So he was up, but he only won by one stroke. Like anything could happen. Remember that when he went into the water, there was like, oh, he's falling apart, but he gathered it back together. It's all about. Think of the pressure that guy was under, not only because of the Masters, but because he's the first Japanese and he knows that.
But nobody wanted to take that tournament.
Take it from him.
I know. But that's how you can see.
I agree. Like they made the run. He went into the water. They made the run, and then they kind of.
But boy, did he earn that win.
He
earned it. That third day was probably the best round of Masters golf I've ever seen.
At least 8 holes he did.
He was fantastic.
Yeah,
he was on point. And then also, too, was fun. It wasn't like he was a scrub the last round. That was great golf. But at the same time, too, man,
you can lose it. You get a different mentality when you're up a couple and you're trying to protect it. And then those guys that have to be aggressive and try to beat you, right? So they got to take it, go to the hole when he could go to the middle of the green because all I got to do is par. Right? You're the one who needs the birdies.
This was the first Masters that I watched completely. I watched every round. Like I was glued to it. I haven't really done that.
That's because you've never really been a golfer before.
I'm a golfer now.
I know. So that's why you never.
I golf a lot.
You were probably one of the people that said, "What this golf? How could you watch this? It's so boring." No. It's like
that was me word for word.
Yeah. So then you become a golfer. It's like this isn't boring. This is pretty, and it's quiet. I'll give you that, right?
You can fall asleep to it.
It's quiet, but there's tension and drama and
how you
competition.
Think about every shot and where's the wind's going, and you got to see where the break.
Yes.
It's just fantastic.
Love
I'm
golf.
looking forward to the U.S. Open this year.
Love
That's
golf.
going to be awesome. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to an end here on this show. We want to thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, you can tune into this
Some people
station.
think C-SPAN's boring TV.
I think
I know. Well, I don't, but I know a lot of people do.
Next week's going to be a doozy. I mean, is the George Floyd trial going to be done next week? I think that
it's already on the defense, and usually it doesn't take that long.
I think the defense final day was Friday.
It's already today.
I think today was because we record Friday show or Sunday. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, same bad time, same bad channel. Open Taxi app gets us there for you. 312-664-6649. From all of us here at the IRS Radio Hour, we thank you so much for tuning in again. I got to say thank you to the listener who provided the question. If you have a question, go to our Facebook page, Trust
Dan
Radio
Schultz.
Network. Dan Schultz with the Trust Radio Network. Fantastic. Listen to
Shalom Klein.
He's coming up next. And thanks so much for tuning in here on AM 560.
The Answer. I know I had something else I want to say, but I can't remember what it is now. So, because Jim takes over the last 30 seconds, and it troubles me. But thanks so much for listening. If I remember what I wanted to say, I'll have to post it somewhere. I don't go on Facebook anymore.
Thanks so much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to David Hochberg, Team Hochberg. Make sure you go over to him.
You need a mortgage, go to David Hochberg.
I love the guy. He always gives me. I love it. But again, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for tuning in. We'll catch you next week, okay? Be safe out there.
Well, you just stepped all over Debbie's line.
I'm sorry.